without IPOB exposing the evil happenings in the zoo, do you think we'll be where we are today? What would happen? If you make noise, they come and buy the person in your village or buy a newspaper journalist to write rubbish. Or some of these idiots on 2,000 Naira a week recharge card in Enugu will be writing rubbish. What do they know? Nothing. Their brain is empty. Oh, okay. There's a way you can do it. You call this politician, you call that one, you sit down and you plan it, and you turn it upside down and you plan it, and you come out. The Yoruba governors succeeded because they have the love of Yoruba first more than anything else. Whereas the political class you've been bestowed since 1970 are those handpicked by the North. That is why they are all servants. I said all are servants to the North. They can never come together to hold whatever meeting, to strategize on the security for our people. Never. Never, ever, ever. Everybody's playing it on their own. I'm in reverse. Let me do my own reverse thing. I'm in cross river. I'll do cross river thing. I'm in a pipe. Nothing is not working. The Fulanis are coming. They are killing. They are pillaging. They are sacking. They are raping as they are coming. Nothing will happen until you bind together under this IPOB. And we stop them, of course, as we have done it. Look at Ebonyi State. They are running from us in Ebonyi. Some of you don't know because you have not read it in a Yoruba paper. So it may not be happening because it's not in a Yoruba paper. That's how some of you are. Oh, can you see me? That's the way you behave. But are you going to stop us from the fight we are fighting? Of course not. They know. I tell them to their faces. They know it. If you say you're strong, you come into Ebonyi. And you're allowed to knee. Come now, you will see. I say because we don't have what's it called? All these patrol cars with siren on top. No. Ask him yet, they will tell you that we met them in Ebonyi. And they decided to try Yoruba land. Let them come. We are waiting. There are mad people everywhere. What I tell you is that I preach the truth. What I tell you is the gospel truth. Up, down, left, right, it is the truth. That is why this gospel, as I'm preaching it live now, if you go to Abuja, it is silent. Everybody, who is who in Abuja, call them down, see if you get them on the phone. Call anybody you know that is sensible in Lagos or in Abuja right now that listen to Radio Biafra. If you go and collect 3,000 Naira from Ike Premato in Enugu, you go to recharge card and rubbish. Pure nonsense. It doesn't concern us anyone, they know that very well. Who are the people that kill and burn houses? Is it not Boko Haram? Is it not Boko Haram, I'm asking? Why would a well-trained soldier kill people and burn not one community but two? Why? Because they are Boko Haram. Excuse me. They are Boko Haram. It's only Boko Haram that kill people and burn houses, isn't it? In the north. That's what they've been doing. The same people you said who they have repented, Buratai, he will salute them. Rankadede military. They all join the military. And all of a sudden now they're the same thing that Boko Haram is doing in the north is what the Nigerian army is doing in the south. What does it tell you? That is Boko Haram in the army. But some of you won't understand that, will you? Did this problem start today? It did not start today. Were the people warned? Yes, they were warned. Did they do something? No. You know, Nigeria is our time, like Tinubu is doing, the turn of my village. I told people, once they dangle that carrot, the same presidency, they dangle it in front of they dangle it in front of them. Oh, presidency. Oh, yeah, yes, let's be good. This thing IPOB is doing. IPOB have only one idiot that arrives from America. Go. That doesn't know the road to his village. He writes, IPOB have stopped Igbo presidency with the agitation. Beke. He's speaking English or he's writing grammar. He's an intellectual from America. Oh, the same presidency that IPOB is stopping them from having is the same presidency that Miet Yala is offering to Yoruba people to drop AMOTEKUN. The same, the same presidency. They dangle it in front of those idiots, Ohanes and Gatro and Doshi, in front of even one buffoon from so-called South. He said he's the chief. That, oh, give it to South, let's complete our turn. And I keep asking myself, are you sure that these are Biafrans? Are you sure that they have Biafran blood in them? Who gave birth to these non-entities? The same presidency. They now dangle it in front of anybody who is willing to betray his people. They dangle it, and if you're willing to betray, and they won't give it to you. If you don't know, they are preparing Tambuwal, and they're making IHEDIOHA for 2023, for your information. These warnings have been there. Did I say something? Of course I did. Write it down on a piece of paper. That is what they want to use to get IHEDIOHA to stop complaining about Hopus of them. They made him a promise that you are in good terms with Tambuwal. He's your master. So cool down. Paiplo, we will give it to you. Tambuwal. There's a game we are playing with the Yoruba. We'll bring out Tambuwal, and then you'll be vice. After 8 years or 4 years, then you'll be playing. The same old story, same old garbage. Did the warning start today? No. Did your so-called Nigerians listen? Of course not. Not me saying it. What I'm telling you today, those in the know have known from time. Those in the know, they have known from time. Who said this is Obasanjo? Buhari deceiving Nigerians. His government empowering Boko Haram. Listen carefully. Obasanjo said this almost a year ago. Of course, I've been saying it since 2014, but he's an elder statesman. He's known all over the world. So we go with what he said. Obasanjo said, and I quote, headline, Buhari deceiving Nigerians. His government empowering Boko Haram, Obasanjo. Nobody listened. But now, some of you cannot even reason and know that the manifestation of Boko Haram's involvement or government empowering Boko Haram is in the sacking and burning of villages in Biafra land. You can never ever make that connection. Because all is in your brain is Igbo man will dominate me. You know, like a deranged cannibus monkey. Somebody who cannot reason very well. A chimpanzee is suffering from convulsion. Somewhere in the mangrove. Talking pure rubbish. Obasanjo said it. And nothing happened as usual in the zoo. Maybe by that time, Yoruba newspapers were busy trying to romance APC, hoping that their man, Tinubu, will get in, not knowing that the Fulani have special plan for Yoruba. Special plan to conquer and to finally to conquer them and decimate them completely. And pave the way for Alamajiri and Janjaweed all over Africa to come into the zoo. Meanwhile, they have closed your borders. And you're there, writing as an intellectual from America. I'm an intellectual. Or maybe if you want to say I'm writing from Enugu, I'm an intellectual. But your border is closed. The border is closed. The borders in the north are open. Those are the issues you should be talking about. People masking their village envy and jealousy under we are intellectuals. Unbelievable. That's nothing we will not see. Unbelievable. After 1 year of Obasanjo saying that this government of Abba Kyari is supporting Boko Haram, the Christian Association of Nigeria, what did they say? The same thing. Buhari government colluding with Boko Haram to kill Christians. The same thing. And the same thing that I've been telling every senator in it's a shame now they're engrossed in all this impeachment rubbish. These are the facts that I laid before American senators and lawmakers. I have done this. Now they're not shouting about it. But Obasanjo said it a year ago. Can't have said the same thing. Now the next logical step is, What are we going to do about it? It's not just lamenting, oh, Boko Haram is doing this, they're killing us here. What are you going to do about it? Somebody said it's improve the security of the people, improve the security of more police. The more police is Boko Haram. If you say recruit more army is Boko Haram. So what are you going to do? People must be able to reason. Oh, there is deterioration of security all over the place because the people you're bringing, they are Fulani people. They didn't go to school. All they know is to shoot, to kill. They have come with an agenda to Islamize, to Fulanize, to enslave, to conquer, to pillage, to rape. What are you talking about? That's what they've come for. They're talking about security in your village. So there is security problem in your village, and a Fulani man is coming to solve it for you. And why wouldn't you have security issues when there is no employment? People don't have jobs to go to. So that thing they used to tell you in kindergarten, that an idle mind is the devil's workshop, you didn't know it was real? So you never knew that? They don't build factories. They don't encourage entrepreneurship. The economy is in the dust. How do you want people to eat? How do you want them to survive? I even think that it was the emir of Kanu who quite, intelligently articulated it. I think he was very into the Alamajiri in the north. When they grow up, what are they going to do? They'll put them all in the army now, and the customs and police, and they ship them to Biafra land to start killing all of us. And then we'll go to paper. And one intellectual writes for America. He's intellectualizing about how to make Nigeria work and to move ahead. Okay, not knowing that Fulani is not educated enough to understand the garbage he's writing. Obasanjo said it last year. This year is Christian Association of Nigeria. And what led to this? Because the Adamawa chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria was killed by Fulani terrorists, Boko Haram. Boko Haram demanded 200 million euros, according to them, from the family. Nobody was prepared to pay. They were negotiating for 50 million, and the terrorists agreed. Suddenly, they contacted Khan, and they said they would kill him unless he agreed to convert to Islam. He said no. And the next thing, they sent a picture of his severed head from his body to his relatives. And that is the end of that news. Is over. It's finished. It is finished. And what we do as a Urat RIP, may he rest in peace, may his gentle soul rest in peace. That's the end of it. We move on until they kill somebody else the next day. This is a typical black African Nigerian for you, daft to the core. They look at a problem, they know the solution to the problem, but they will never ever employ that solution because they are afraid of the Fulani. It's only IPOB that is not scared of Fulani. They're afraid of us now. If you go to Mietiala now, you shout IPOB or NNAMDI KANU, they will faint. Go to Mietiala and try it now. You see what will happen. There'll be a stampede. Others are afraid of Mietiala. We are not. They know this. We have met them in Ebonyi. We met them in Anambra, and they know how ready we are. They know us very well. Some of you running from pillar to post, looking for political appointments, looking for jobs from the government, fooling yourselves, deceiving yourselves. Not before we used to say you're mortgaging, you're mortgaging the future of your children. Now they are sacrificing our lives. Somebody wants to be a governor. He will promise everything. He will give Dangote Imo River Basin Authority. They will give him anything. All he wants is to be governor. It doesn't concern him. If they're killing you, that's your business. That's where we are now. More like an operation, sell your people. That's where we are. Very, very sad indeed. Everybody is lamenting and complaining, but of course nothing is happening. And I have a very simple solution. Divide Nigeria, let everybody go their separate ways. So terrorism will stop. Once there is a meeting in England now discussing how to dissolve Nigeria, terrorism will stop that same minute. Once they announce the meeting, that Britain, the creator of Nigeria, is now convening a very crucial meeting to determine if Nigeria has a future or not, terrorism will stop that same night. If you like, try it and see. We keep deceiving ourselves. We are one Nigeria because of oil. People think they cannot survive without oil from Biafra land. That is all this one Nigeria garbage is because they think we cannot survive without oil and gas. Money coming from Biafra land. That is all. That is where the envy is coming from. That is where the jealousy is coming from. That is where they don't want Biafra to go. That's all. Not that they love you. They love you. You hold no position in government. They love you. They have rendered you useless. Second-hand clothing okereka is no longer coming in. Stockfish no longer comes in nothing. All our industries shut down. And the person is claiming you're in one Nigeria with him, you love him. Our dear sister, in fact, I agree with her to an extent. She spoke very well in Lagos. But the fact of the matter remains that it is not about if you reject us. We have been rejected. I want Onyeko to understand we have already been rejected. It's not a question of if you reject us, we can't reject ourselves. No, we have already been abandoned, rejected. And IPOB is doing something about it. We are doing something about it. There was a video of that says that cultists beheading people. Now beheading is now the norm. If you come to Eche, if you come to Tobiabo, that's beheading going on. As I say, it's called. And then Ami came in, and there was a few beheadings. Did you see how foolish we have become? Because we did not fight for Biafra together from time. Biafra is the solution. As Melford Okiro, former MPN governor of River State, told me that Biafra is the solution. As Ali Ekine did, that Biafra is the solution, no other way. They do not understand it. They will never understand it. And whilst people are busy beheading each other and beheading themselves all over the place, you know, to learn something stupid is very easy for some people in this way. The craze now is to behead somebody. That is the new fashion. Oh dear me. The same Awasa police that people are telling you, why don't you beef up the security? That when people talk about insecurity in Nigeria, I keep asking myself, who and what is the cause of the insecurity? The insecurity is Fulani. They are in the police, they are in the army. They are the ones killing people. That is a fact. When I say it, Facebook doesn't agree. They say, oh no, you are, they say it's spam, isn't it? Whatever that rubbish they call it. They want to shut me down. In Imo State, the home of the new Sultan, a businessman. His name is Mr. Justice Eke. He was shot dead by a policeman because he wanted to hand over a 50 naira note bribe, and the money fell on the ground. The policeman shot him dead. And who is the police commissioner in Imo State? Of course, it's not an Igbo man, not somebody from Imo, not somebody who knows the place, but it's Mr. Olaniyi Fafowora. This man was killed because he agreed to give bribe of 50 naira, but accidentally the bribe fell on the ground. And the policeman, of course, Janjaweed, shot him dead. Now, when chroniclers come, they will say, oh, there is violence. There's a loss of life in Imo. There's violence. They will never tell you that this man was shot dead by a Fulani policeman. They will never tell you. And now, they will say there is insecurity all over the place. Can you bring more enforcement? The more enforcement coming, who are they? The same Fulani. Our people are in a very serious and difficult mess. Believe you me. The sooner you realize what IPOB is doing, the sooner you realize the importance of the work IPOB is doing, the better for everybody. I assure you. The better for all of us. Because some of you do not understand. Some of you do not appreciate what we are doing. But one day you will. How do we defend the innocent? That is the I have been able to list out all the happenings, all the very terrible things happening in the zoo. How do you combat? How do you checkmate? How do you contain this excessive Fulani savagery of the worst kind? How? Because Somebody said that Nigeria is a country where killers walk free. Not me saying it, but Archbishop, is it Bishop, Archbishop? It's Bishop Koka of Sokoto. Will this man that killed this Okereke be prosecuted? The answer is no. He's Fulani. Have you ever seen Fulani being arrested before? Of course not. They don't arrest themselves because it's rank. Even if they kill, even if Dangote, when they use his trailer to commit very serious terrorist crime, when they commit terrorism with Dangote tanker or truck, you know what they do? They all have the police. If they're driving through Anambra, they have the Anambra police commissioner's number. They'll just call and say, I'm this person, and that's it. They come and take them. They come and take them and rescue them. This Coker, he's been speaking very well. He spoke at the 3rd General Assembly and Peace Conference. Always peace. Peace with who? Somebody who wants to Islamize you, somebody who wants to kill you and rape your mother, you're making peace with. Are they well at all? So you see, you think that one day will come in Nigeria when Al-Majiri will just mind their business, or Mietiala will mind their business. The 4th terrorist group, largest, most deadly terrorist group in the world, they'll mind their own business. Is that seriously? Is that what you think? Is Mietiala not Fulani headsmen? Is that what you're thinking? In your foolishness, you're holding peace conference. Peace conference with who? To achieve what result? I'm asking. Inter-religious dialogue. Are Christians fighting Muslims? Are Judeo-Christians fighting Muslims? I say it's no. It's always the Muslims killing the Christians. So what dialogue are you having? What interfaith reconciliation are you having? One person is killing the other person, and you're having dialogue. These people. I don't know. I don't know for them. I don't know for them. But this level of stupidity is getting out of hand. The time now is approximately, I believe, it is 8:30 in the land of Biafra. This is a live presentation. This is Radio Biafra. We are dissecting the zoo, exposing the fraudulent foundation of the British criminal edifice called Nigeria. Criminal edifice, that's what it is. Built for criminals, sustained by criminals, and run by terrorists. That's who they are. Mad people everywhere. You know, as they kill them, they are declaring for fasting and prayer. Fasting and prayer. Fulani is acquiring AK-47, fasting and prayer. And because they are talking about fasting and prayer, Mietiala will not speak. You know, this is a Mietiala government, a terrorist government, government of Fulani headsmen. Because this is nothing. But any day you form yourself into a vigilante group like AMOTEKUN, they will start shouting because they know there is no way in for them anymore. But if you say fasting and prayer, when they come and they start shooting the AK-47 at you, they'll ask you, let that prayer save you. That was why they beheaded the CAN chairman in Adamawa. Let that prayer save you now. He has AK-47, you have the Holy Bible and your prayer. Let that prayer save you. And the man was slaughtered. They are here calling for fasting and prayer. And I'm saying to CAN this very evening, the only thing that can save you is for everybody to go their separate ways. Once you do that, all this rubbish will come to an end. I've said this, but I'll keep saying it. And when I go back to the US and EU to speak to those that matter, I'll remind them again. This fear that a breakup of Nigeria will lead to a wider regional conflagration of conflict and all the rest of it is pure balderdash. I have said this to them before. They don't want to listen. I'll keep saying it. Nigeria will break and nothing will happen. Soviet Union broke and nothing happened. The only savages you have are the Fulanis. Once you control them, once you contain them in Sokoto, it's over for them. It's over for them. But there are some people looking for elected office. They want the politicians. They're like Hopus or them and all the rest of them. They want the turn of my village. Oh. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. Even the man who is responsible for drafting the constitution that empowered all these terrorists, Abdul Salami Abubakar, That is what is paining me about all these Fulani people. They think they're smart. Nigeria is presently at a crossroad with the multifarious challenges confronting. And I'm asking Abdul Salami Abubakar, who created the problems? You know, these people, I don't know how they do this. There is a problem in the country. And I'm asking them, who actually created these problems? Whose responsibility is it to contain the Fulani terrorists? You created the problem. You're asking for people to come together so we can dialogue and find how to end this confrontation, when the only people confronting other people are Fulani headsmen. They are the ones doing the killing. It's you that brought in, you are the one that put Sharia in the constitution. No Christianity in the constitution. You, Abdul Salami Abubakar. You are the ones that empowered all the parastatals to basically come from the north, whether educated or badly educated. Like Muhammadu Tanko, the Chief Justice of the Zoo. You people are responsible for what is happening in there, and you're coming out to lament as if there are people that you're struggling with. Of course not. Of course not. You people are the cause of the problem. You created the problem. The problem was created by the Fulani rulers of the zoo. You think you have a sense of entitlement. You can do anything you like in Nigeria. You can kill, you can loot, you can pillage, you can impose. What is causing the problem now? Is it not this Fulanization agenda that Buhari had before he died that Abba Kyari is now carrying out? Is that what you're doing? You're securing Nigeria for Islam and for Muslims, or should I say Al-Majri, Fulani, all across the whole of Africa. That's what you're doing. And then you're here complaining and shouting about confrontation. You are the ones confronting people. And that is the very gospel truth. That is the very gospel truth. And they are warning. This one is warning, oh, there's going to be civil war. Junai, that glorified Al-Majri. Maybe the only Al-Majri who can, if at all he's the one writing all this, who can actually read and write. Why? Because of AMOTEKUN. AMOTEKUN, I think that's the correct pronunciation. He said there's going to be war because when he talks about civil war, he is counting on Biafrans, especially Igbos, being able to support the North to subdue the Yorubas, but it's not going to happen. It can never ever happen. Never will it happen, and they know it very well. I want to defend myself against terrorists, and you're telling me you will go to war because of it. You have not fought this war against the terrorist groups that all of you are funding in the North. This Junaid Mohammed is himself a terrorist. They are the one. And ask yourself this question. How come in Nigeria you have Boko Haram, you have ISWAP, you have Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, you have Fulani headsmen, you have bandits, and you have kidnappers? Only them. Do you think if all these issues, or should I say difficulties, were prevalent in any zone or region, that they will allow a president to come from there? To some of the idiots saying that IPOB is stopping NNAMDI Igbo from producing a president of Igbo extraction come 2023. How come Boko Haram, ISIS in West Africa, Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, Fulani headsmen did not stop the re-emergence of Abba Kyari's puppet, Jibril al-Sudani of Sudan? But he's an intellectual. He claims, he's claiming he went to school, he's an intellectual, he can reason very well. Look at how daft they are. Terrorism, the real sponsors of terrorism, people that openly called Buhari their chief negotiator. Buhari that said to IHEDIOHA, an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the North. None of that stopped Buhari from emerging as president. No, not at all. IPOB fighting for the survival of the Biafran race. He's stopping. He's an intellectual. Tomorrow he will write one garbage again, and idiots will go and read it. That's how sad they are. They claim they're intelligent, but they know nothing. Junaid Mohammed is claiming that Yoruba is launching civil war. Yoruba wants to defend itself. The daughter of their leader was killed. You're going about raping women, killing people in Yoruba land, and you want them to keep quiet? Do you seriously think that the Yoruba governors are Igbo governors? Is that what you're thinking? Or the so-called South governors, is that what you're thinking? That you can do whatever you like and get away with it? They waited, and at the last time they launched, they are vigilante. And that is the end of the game. Is over for them in the West. The attention will now turn to the East. They will come because they are desperate. Their brethren are coming in from all over Africa, and they need access. They need control of access to the sea, and they must have it. So that is why they're jumping up and down, because what AMOTEKUN did is to destroy their plans completely. That is why Miyetti Yala is beside itself. They cannot believe it. They never thought that the Yoruba will summon the courage one day to say enough is enough. They never, not in a million years, never dreamt about it. That's why on their throne and bush, they sheepishly joined in and said, we are happy now, they have reached an agreement, we are happy. This was what IPOB saw decades ago and tried to implement. He said, no, now look at where we are. A few beheadings here and there, a few killings here and there, burning of villages and communities. If you don't give them money at checkpoints, they kill you there and then. Nothing will happen. This is the result of weak leadership, compromised leadership. They cannot speak. Instead, they will kneel down before filthy Alamajiri and be begging to be made governor of a state. Men without shame. Yesterday, they told us that they have reached there's a peace accord now between Osibajo and his 4 Yoruba brothers. That now there is a peace accord, no more, AMOTEKUN is not illegal. But today, the Alamajiri in the government, Alamajiri there at the meeting, Malami, is insisting that it cannot continue because they know that their plans are over. Everything they planned has been destroyed by one simple formation, because all the Europe, not 5, all the 6 governors spoke with one accord, one unity, and that was it. And do you know why they said to them to go to state, to go to your state assembly and try to pass laws? And that's what, do you know what they want to do? What Malawi wants to do is, once that process begins, they will start lobbying the lawmakers in the West, promising them presidency, promising them minister, Speaker of the House of Representatives, President of the Senate in 2098. And the idiots, these are black people. They will accept the money and the empty promise, or should I say promises in this case, and they will betray. Once one state votes no, the whole thing unravels. You see, people don't understand Fulani the way we know them. It's a trap. That's what they always do. The same thing they did was, come into politics. Why don't you come into politics? Let's play it there. Then they're waiting for you at the Supreme Court. So you can win all you like in your state or in your locality, and they'll just tell their puppet, don't worry, bring it to the Supreme Court. At the Supreme Court, one Kudirat Abdullahi will say no. That somebody that came 5th is now 1st. Well, what will you do? Nothing. You say, let's leave it for God, and as Khan will say, let's fast and pray. I'm giving Yoruba free advice tonight. Yoruba, only go to your state assemblies to ratify this if you are sure you will carry it. Because, listen, mark my words tonight. Today is the 24th of January. If one state votes no in the West to AMOTEKUN because they have the money, they can go to China and borrow more money. They can bring more money and promise those people who will give you DSS security, as they did in those days, how they convinced Akintola to fight Awolowo. We will give you everything you need. Don't worry. We'll even give you houses abroad. If the heat is too much after the vote, you can fly abroad, no problem. That's what they will do. They will target just one state. They will target one predominantly Muslim, Yoruba Muslim state. They will get that House of Assembly to say no. Once they do it, the whole AMOTEKUN unravels legally. I'm giving them free advice tonight. Do not go to your state House of Assembly. If you do, make sure that you have the numbers, or else this whole AMOTEKUN thing will be unraveled. Because the argument that Malami is making is that it is not backed by the weight of law. But the contention is very simple. You don't need the backing of the law to protect your life. You don't need it. Somebody is coming, raping your mother, abducting your wife, and you be on the phone calling the speaker of our state house of assembly. Please, speaker, make a law to enable me to defend my family. Does that make any sense to anybody? The Yorubas are saying that you're coming into their land and you're destroying their way of life. You're killing people. They're stopping it, and you're asking them to go and get the law to back them. Can you believe such rubbish? And they've gone ahead and have done it, and you're threatening war. Go let's Fulani go and fight Yoruba now. Let's see. Go and fight them now. Is it to be shouting war? Go and fight them. Let us see. An order will be given. You know that no Yoruba in the army will fight their people. No Biafran in the army. No Biafran will issue the order on radio Biafran. No Biafran in the army will go to Yoruba land and start killing people. For you, Fulani. It's not possible. You think you're smart, we're smarter than you are. No room for AMOTEKUN in Nigeria. Federal government insists. But yesterday they said they had reached an agreement, but today they're saying, oh, it's no longer valid. We insist. You must break it down because they need space for their people coming from all over Africa. And Yoruba land is included. If the Yorubas had known this, what they know now, in 1967, do you think that Awo would have betrayed Ojukwu? The answer is no. It is called benefit of hindsight. That thing that Ojukwu fought. You know, people come and they lie. They say, oh, and Ojukwu went to war. We were on our own and they brought the war to us. Through Nsukka. They brought the war to us. Oh, and Ojukwu went to war. Who told you that? Now you can see what Ojukwu fought for. Ojukwu fought this same thing now. You are now confronting with AMOTEKUN. This same thing now. The same thing that the thieves are facing in the Middle Belt, that the Jukun are facing. The same lamentation of T.Y. Danjuma. You know that go on, his hand is so soiled with blood that he has no conscience anymore. T.Y. Danjuma was complaining they're killing his people. Now you see why the Biafrans went to war? There must be, instead of calling for prayer and fasting, I think the Khan should call for open day of confession and asking of forgiveness from Biafra. Or should I say Biafrans? Nigerians should, at least the Middle Belt and the West, they should kneel down and ask Biafrans to forgive them. Because what you're going through now is exactly what we passed through. But then we're telling you, a combination of Britain, you know, a white man drinking tea with you, telling you Igbo man is bad, Biafra is bad for you. You agreed because it was an opportunity for you to see the white man and to drink tea. But the truth of the matter is that what Ojukwu fought for, what this generation of Ojukwu is fighting for, is still the same thing. Not even the domination. They've been dominating us, no one is complaining. They brought death and destruction upon their domination. They've been dominating us, no one is complaining. Did we complain? No. It is they brought terrorism on top of it and now telling us we must convert to Islam by force. That's why we said no. It won't happen. Have they not been dominating us? They dominate, they take over every parastatal belongs to them. They don't go to school, but they head every institution. No problem. But even the small existence we're trying to eke out for ourselves, they are saying no to it. Oh, come on. Where do you want us to go then? We must defend our land. We must defend it. No room for AMOTEKUN. They are joking. And Junai Mohammed is saying that there'll be war. Just imagine. My people are being killed. I'm rising up to defend them. You're saying that there'll be war. That means they own you. What these Alamajiris are doing in Miyati Yala and Junaid Mohammed, what they are doing in essence is to tell that they own you. You belong to them. And those making it easy for them to make such outlandish, ridiculous claims are the Ohaneses of this world and your stupid, compromised governors. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you think if they come into Imo State to keep what Hope Uzodinma will do anything? Do you think he will do anything? That is a continuation of that selection they've been doing. Of course, I'll come to Hope Uzodinma later on and look at their stupid judgment because we have it. We have their stupid, published judgment. Useless set of people. They say, I'm not insulting you, I'm telling you the truth. If you're foolish, I'll tell you you're foolish. Tomorrow, you like Biafra. It took them 50 years to realize that Biafra was right after all. What they are going through now in the West was what we went through 50 years ago. Because Britain told the Fulanis the best thing to do is to attack the Igbos and subdue them. Once you attack them and get them, the rest will be loyal. And the rest foolishly joined to attack Biafra. That's what they did. And today everybody's paying the price in one way or the other. Communities are being burnt. People are now complaining. If you don't do this, we'll do this. If you don't do this, we'll do this. But when our fathers were telling you in 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, you never listened. Too little, too late, as they say. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. It is 10 minutes to 9, actually, in the blessed land of Biafra. This is a live presentation of Radio Biafra, dissecting the zoo for what it is. I want Biafran governors, let me put it that way, the whole of South, South, and Southeast, all of them, to listen to what I have to say. Very important. I want to quote what one person said, one of the governors of Yoruba land. And I have respect for this man. In fact, I'm so glad that sensible people like this actually exist in Yoruba land. I'm overjoyed. I'm so happy, honestly. You know what he said? I never thought I would live to see or hear the day that, see the day actually, that a politician will rise up in the zoo to utter these words. His name is Akere Dolu. He is the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum. He said, I am not bothered if Operation AMOTEKUN will cost me second-term ambition. What else do you want him to say? Do you see an Igbo governor saying this? He say this? Cost me my second term? Where I'm serving my people? It's not possible. That's how you know people that love their nation. He loves Yoruba people, and I commend him for it. I like him for it. I can even say that I love him for it. This very man. This is how patriots speak. They have realized that Nigeria is a joke, is a sham. If you come to Abuja, you lie to me, I lie to you, we go our separate ways. But they are brave enough. A politician in Biafra has been accumulating wealth for the past 18 years. After governor, they went to Senate. They've been making money for 18 years. For 18 years non-stop. They cannot stand up and say such a thing. Never. But Yoruba man said it. And I admire him for it. Honestly speaking, I admire I admire him for it. I admire him for it. Very, very much so. You have governors from the East that conspired to destroy BSS. No, they didn't destroy it actually. Our operation didn't, we wanted to be more visible. These days we are not visible anymore. But the work is still going on. As I said, if you're in doubt, go to spend some of your time and go to Ebonyi and ask the villagers who are those fighting to defend them, and then you will know. In Biafra land, cattle destroyed a farmland where they have rice worth 17 million naira in Enugu. But from the same Enugu, you have one idiot on 2,000 naira from a Kremado every week, writing epistle, writing rubbish. Pure rubbish. Every day, write one nonsense or the other. Farmland destroyed. Livelihoods laid to waste. Who are those responsible? Those who are responsible are the same people telling you about the politics heating up, there is confrontation, there is insecurity. They are the ones causing the insecurity. They are the ones expected to tackle the insecurity. Isn't that very perverse? The same people causing the insecurity are the same people that people are relying on to bring an end to it. How is that possible? Just please explain to me in layman's terms. How is that possible? The same people creating the chaos. This farmland has been destroyed, 17 million in Enugu. We are not there to save them. We are not there because we have very limited resources. It's only IPOB worldwide that contribute the funds we use to fight all these battles across Biafra land, defending our land. Without IPOB, by now would have been gone. And the intel didn't come in on time. The farmland is gone, it's destroyed. But mind you, they have 14 settlements in Enugu. The Fulani, they have 14 settlements in Enugu. And so somebody's in America writing rubbish. Somebody's in Owani writing nonsense. But there are 14 settlements. Not the way you go in the north and you rent a house or you buy a piece of land and you build on it. No. 14 settlements down the ground in Enugu. And next month, they say, oh, what was IPOB doing? That IPOB should have done something. They are mad people. Mad, insane people everywhere. Look at it. But of course, we'll go into Enugu to make sure that such nonsense doesn't happen again. Of course, the volunteer command, they know what to do. They must go into Enugu to make sure such rubbish doesn't happen again. So we are working. It's not because that we are not in the open that you think that nothing is happening. Of course, we are doing something. We are doing something. It was because they couldn't get through us. That's why they went to Yoruba land to try their luck. And now they have AMOTEKUN. So they are caught between devil and the hard place, to be honest with you. And the people doing these killings and their family members in the army and the police supporting them. I'm saying it, I've been saying it from day one. Nigerian army, Nigerian police, they are the same thing as Fulani headsmen, Boko Haram, ISIS in West Africa, and Al Qaeda in the Maghreb. Have you not asked yourself this question? How is it possible that in one country, from one particular region, from one tribe, you have 4 deadly terrorist groups? 4 operating at the same time. 4. And you're telling me there's hope. You can salvage Nigeria. Let me ask, how are you going to salvage it? Are you going to put every Alamajiri in school in the north? That is not possible. What sort of social provision are you going to, what are you going to do? Are there factories or industries or what? What are you going to do? The answer is nothing. Let's stop deceiving ourselves that somehow tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will get worse. It can only get worse. That led the CAN, this same Christian Association of Nigeria, to ask the government to declare Miyetti Allah terrorist group. How can the government declare itself a terrorist group? Miyetti Allah is the government. The government is a terror government. This Nigerian government, they are exporting, they are financiers, sponsors of terrorism. You need to understand that. How do you want them to now declare themselves terrorists? But they are the ones that rushed with the help of Igbo governors to declare IPOB a terrorist group. Sometimes, don't you people wonder sometimes the faces of, sometimes I wonder what the look any of these governors will be wearing on their face when they are talking about AMOTEKUN and what their Yoruba counterparts are doing. Are they not ashamed of themselves? Okay, if I'm any of them, I will not even come outside anymore. If I am a governor, with the exception of Wike, if I am a governor in Biafra land, I will not come outside anymore. Shame won't allow me to, you know, they have no shame. They have no shame whatsoever. Shame will not allow me to come outside if I am a governor. Shame, shame. Come and do what? So you're telling me that the governors of the West, those Yoruba men, they have more balls than you have. Is that what you're telling me? They are more manly than you are. But you have all the useless titles in the world. You do nothing for your people. You can't defend your people. And you say you're a governor. This same Miyetti Allah that is a terrorist group is the same group that Obiano is saying they are working with in Anambra. I want our people to reason. I need them to understand this. Those of you that have said that they voted for Apoga, you voted for Obiano. The same people that is in Obiano's government, the Christian Association of Nigeria, of which I believe that Anambra is part of, is telling you that they're a terrorist group. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. People are so shameless. They are shameless. Shameless. Christian Association of Nigeria is telling you to declare Miyetti Allah a terrorist group because they are a terrorist group. They are Fulani headsmen, the fourth most brutal terror group in the world. Now I think they are number 2. The beheading is now fashionable because of them. That Obiano, the governor of Anambra, is telling you, I am working with them, but Khan is telling you that they are terrorists. And this Khan, especially their chairman, is not even a fan of Biafra. He believes in Nigeria of Yakubu Gowon, that one day everything will be okay. Of course, he's dreaming. That is why Britain doesn't want you to separate. You know, it's like, have you seen where killer whale is attacking sardines before? In fact, actually dolphin. Let me get it absolutely right. Have you seen before a school of sardines being attacked by dolphins? They head them into a pack. They get them to converge into a pack like a ball, and then they start attacking them, picking them off one after the other. By the time the feast is finished, there will be no single sardine left, because they huddled them together. Instead of them to disperse and run away, no, they keep heading them, you know, getting them into a ball so they can feed off them. That's what Britain is doing to all of us. Britain is saying, oh, Nigeria is good. Nigeria is fine. One Nigeria, diversity, culture. As Fulani is doing their work, slaughtering us. And they're busy telling, oh, one Nigeria. Oh, Nigerian student did well in America. Nigeria said, meanwhile, back home, the squeeze is on. By the time they finish with us, there'll be nobody left. And then the Okoko in America writing in a pistol, writing rubbish about IPOB. You won't find him anymore. That is how they flow. That is how they work. These people being declared that the Khan is asking or pleading to be declared a terrorist group. They are the one that they got. I'm telling you that they're all one. When I tell you something, I can go together. When I tell you something, I prove it. I don't just say anything. When I say, that is why they bribed Facebook to shut down my Facebook page. That is why they bribed Facebook. Any very strong Biafran activist on Facebook try to deny them space. Which is why I don't see the post of some of you anymore. When I tell you something, you believe me. With all the evidence available, it is very, very clear that who are the Miyetti Allah? They are the people that move cattle now. The Fulani headsmen. Are they not a terrorist group? Of course they are. Everyone knows that. Now listen to this. The presidency of Nigeria said in a statement by Garba Shehu that Miyetti Allah is a legal stakeholder in our nation and should be respected. What else do you want to hear from me? That the fourth most deadly terrorist group in the world is a legitimate legal stakeholder in our nation and should be respected. Which nation are you talking about? A Fulani nation? I hope the whole thing is making sense now. I hope it is making sense. And I've been told that people are asking what is the way forward, as if they've not been they didn't join this program on time. There's only one solution: the solution of Nigeria, the solution of that very PLC, the solution of that abomination, the solution of that contraption. I keep saying it over and over again. If you like, you go and take a rope and hang yourself. I don't give a damn. Anybody who believes in Nigeria is lower than an animal. If you call yourself a Nigerian proudly, believe you me, a dog is better than you. I don't see you as a human being. That means you cannot reason very well. You can never ever reason very well. Miyetti Allah is a legal stakeholder in Nigeria. Miyetti Allah is the fourth largest terror group in the world. But they prescribed IPOB. Malami, who is a terrorist himself, prescribed IPOB. And some of you were clapping. And I'm sure that a tinge of shame must have afflicted all those in Yoruba media that supported the prescription of IPOB. See, Igbo governors. They ran immediately. Hey, tell us what to do. Please, Abba Kyari, tell us, what do you want us to do? We'll do it for you. They said, go and kill NNAMDI KANU. Go to his house and kill everybody there. Oh, please go. Let's prescribe them first. Let's look at Yoruba governors. And that's another idiot who wake up tomorrow morning and tell you, the governors are doing very well. Can't you see? Our governors are doing very well. But compare the activities with that of their counterparts in Yoruba land. And to reinforce what I'm saying about working together, Autumn of Benue State, if you go it alone, you will fail. Get all the other states around Benue, around the Middle Belt, to form your own AMOTEKUN. The same thing should happen everywhere. Everybody should have the right to defend themselves. Once you do it, you see Fulani will retreat. But will Nigeria get better? Of course not, because they are there everywhere. How are you going to do it? As one person cleverly wrote, I'm telling you, some people are very funny. Somebody wrote today, and I was reading before I came on air. Some people are too intelligent. He said, you're talking about presidency going to an Igbo man or whoever, or maybe Tinubu. All they need to do, and the North will do, is they will just increase their bombing here and there. And once they do it, UN will say, things are not working. Remember how UN used to speak under Jonathan? Things are not working. We need a strong general from... Who are the generals you have? I don't know for all from the North. Maybe Buratai will then run and contest and he will win. Tinubu's media will wash him and present him to you gullible fools in Nigeria, and you accept. You swallow it hook, line, and sinker. Somebody who came out and said, I will support Sharia openly to advance the Sharia cause in Nigeria. Somebody came and told you he's a reformed Democrat and you agreed. That shows how useless you are. You are very, very foolish. That is why you're suffering. You are suffering your stupidity. You are suffering your hopelessness. You are suffering your greed and your envy. You think, or you thought you are spitting Biafrans. You thought you spit IPOB. You're spitting NNAMDI KANU. Let's go and be one Nigeria. Look at the result now. Let's say it to go. You'll be lucky if you come out with your head in it. I'm sure most of you, your livelihoods are gone because you are in a zoo, because you have refused to reason, because you have refused to accept the inevitable, which is that the zoo will break. It will break, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. What do we have? What do we have to counter them? The only group you have, the only people you have to defend the entire East, not just Southeast, but South, is IPOB. No other set of people can. We have the numbers and we have the men. Who on my command will die any day? I command it. If I give command, everywhere there'll be chaos. Don't you know that? Is it because we kept quiet all this while? Waiting for the right time. Waiting for the right time. As I said, within 2 weeks, we'll be in Sokoto. I assure you of that. Write it down on it. Write it down on a piece of paper. Within 2 weeks, we'll be in Sokoto. And we'll see that monster. I want to see that thing they kept in Sokoto. I want to see it with my 2 eyes. Kenyan had in Sokoto. What is it that the caliphate kept in Sokoto that is holding everybody bondage? Everybody's acting like an idiot, like a fool. I want to see that nonsense myself. And that time is fast approaching. Some idiots hiding under the very respectable and hallowed Joy Youth Council is there accepting crumbs from DSS. Your DSS handler is a Fulani man. Fulani people are in your village killing people and you're giving him information. Are you not a fool? Are you not a fool, I'm asking? Are you not an idiot? Serving one Nigeria, whereas your village is under siege. Nonsense. You issuing stupid statement. Who is the idiot that can say you ban IPOB in Bayelsa? Are you drunk? Nigerian government could not ban IPOB. Nobody could stop IPOB. Talking of one riffraff who's not had a clean bath in weeks, talking rubbish about IPOB. I will find you. You've done nothing about your villages being burnt, about the communities we have in Biafra being burnt in a Joland to write rubbish about IPOB. Some idiotic journalists agreed to publish such nonsense. Useless fools. When it comes to Biafra, you found them out to talk. When Fulani is in your house destroying you, you cannot say anything. You start looking for IPOB to come and fight for you. Who do you think will save you? Who do you think if we allow you to, if we ask you to go tonight and raise an alarm, let us see how many people will answer you. And ask IPOB to do the same thing, and you see what will happen. Then you know how strong we are. Go and collect money from DSS and issue another. They'll write another useless rubbish for you. Maybe this time regarding, maybe from, they'll go and get one idiot from Akwa Ibom to write another rubbish. But of course, Akwa Ibom won't fall for that crap. After all, they are even more Biafran than we are. This is the advantage that the Fulanis have, the Caliphate have over all of us. Some of us, peanuts, change, chicken change. You betray your people, you betray your life, you betray your family, you betray your friends, you betray your nation. Because of peanuts. Because of peanuts. The Fulani people are desperate to command an access route to the sea. And let me repeat, they are very, very desperate. The worst thing the Yorubas can do is to water down AMOTEKUN. If the Yorubas attempt to water down AMOTEKUN, if they give up, if they cave into this blackmail, we will never ever work with them forever and ever. Listen very carefully. The Yorubas must understand this, please. With so much love and so much regard and respect, we will do all we can to support. In any way imaginable, we'll do so. Never, ever, ever, ever retreat. Because if you retreat, they will encircle you. Write it down. Today is the 24th. Write it down. Today is the 24th of January, 2020. If you water down AMOTEKUN, they will move, they will take your land over, they will have access to the sea. Once they have done that, the rest is just a joke. We're all gone. Understand this very well. Understand this very, very well. Very, very critical. Understand this. As long as you remain strong, I worship is my witness. We will commit everything committable to the cause that you're pursuing, which is to defend lives and properties of your people. And let me also say this. When next we come out in public, because we will, in time to come, in a grand style, we'll come. When we do, I want to let Nigerians understand one simple thing. BSS was formed to defend our land against Fulani invasion, not to divide Nigeria. Must understand this. I personally, as the leader of IPOB, will not sanction nor allow any carving out of Biafra from the zoo without the consent of the people of Biafra. They must give us their consent first before we do anything. Very, very critical. You know them, oh, who did they tell? They are doing their own. You know how some of them are. You know them. So any security outfit that we do have is purely to secure our land and has nothing, I repeat, absolutely nothing to do with secession, breaking, division, war. Because these are the favorite words. Secession, breaking the union, the unity of the country, war, anarchy. They love all these words. It's just to defend our land. Our people, Biafran people, must decide. By Biafra people, I mean all the Biafrans in Igala, the Biafrans in Benue, the Biafrans in Edo, the Biafrans in Delta, the Biafrans in Anambra, in Enugu, in Ebonyi, in Abia, in Imo, the Biafrans in Cross River, the Biafrans in Akwa Ibom, the Biafrans in Rivers, and the Biafrans in Bayelsa, and also Biafrans in Delta. They must all vote and agree ethnicity by ethnicity, clan by clan, to say we want to be part of Biafra. Let me make this very clear for that idiot, that Yoruba boy in IYC. I don't know how he managed to get that position in IYC. I want to make this very clear for everybody to understand. Our referendum will be based on ethnicity. Igbos will vote to join Biafra or not. Idoma will vote. Igede will vote. Ibanke will vote. And Nyoma will, everybody will vote one clan by clan to decide. Maybe at the end of the day, the Igbos may say they want to be part of Nigeria. And Ibibio will say they want to be part of Biafra. If that happens, I'll simply pack my things and move to Ibibio land to go and live. As simple as that. I want people to get this into your skull. We are not going to force anybody. Nobody is forcing anybody to do anything. At the right time, we will ask the relevant questions. Do you want to be part of Biafra or part of Nigeria? Choose one. End of story. Everything we are doing now is to secure our land, security-wise, from the influx and the invasion that is coming. That's all we are doing. Anything we are doing in terms of security is to secure our land, not to carve out Biafra. No. Hold me to these words. It is not to carve out Biafra, not at all. Biafra must come via a referendum. We must ask our people their mind and their opinion, and they must give it freely in a ballot. That is the only way we can get Biafra. That's the only way I intend to pursue Biafra, no other way. Peacefully. But I will also get to Sokoto eventually. We'll go there and see that thing that is that made it possible for illiterates to be ruling over people who are educated. I just want to understand the magic they did. How was it possible? How? I want to know. Our people must be very, very careful. As usual, they have come with their religion in. I must emphasize this. The Al-Majri have come with their religion inside Bayelsa. Very, very important. Most of our people in southern Biafra has fallen for this con. It is a very massive fraud, and have duty to protect our land. They must understand this. Most of them have also converted to Islam, which is a precursor to paving the way for Islamic invasion of our land, especially the coastal areas. In effect, parts of Niger Delta will be turned into Fulani vassal colonies in years to come if some of these informants and caliphate agents are not rooted out by IYC. I am telling IYC today so they understand this very well, because I have a lot of regard and respect for IYC. Heaven knows this, I do. IYC must be very, very careful. There are Fulani agents who are within. They will sell anything for money. And we must not allow them to gain a foothold. Some of them are following the footsteps of those who have gone before them. Betraying Biafra never pays. Go back to history. Betraying Biafra never ever pays. If the Yorubas, as I said earlier, know today, if they had known before what they know today, they would not have betrayed Biafra. And I say it again and again and again. Our oil and gas will be placed at the disposal of the United Nations. A committee will be formed to ensure that everybody receive what is due to them. We are not fighting for Biafra because of oil and gas. We are doing it just for our freedom. The world must understand this. We will gladly hand over our oil and gas to a United Nations supervised committee. Gladly. We just want to be free, to build a civilization that the whole of Africa will be proud of. To let the world know you don't need to depend on oil and gas in order to make a living. Anybody that betrayed Biafra is suffering today. The Yorubas, if they're not suffering, they won't have formed AMOTEKUN, will they? The Middle Belt is ravaged, almost gone. Even our own flesh and blood, our fellow Biafrans in Bayelsa, Some of them that said no to Biafra via Edwin Clark, because I speak the truth. Edwin Clark was a traitor during the war. Edwin Clark was a saboteur during